Welcome to another week of Turn Up, Beardown. Scotty Blakely here, flying solo this week. Hopefully, we'll get back to full strength next week as we have a COVID listed injury. So this week, the Bears are taking on the Titans. It'll be in Nashville, Tennessee. Hopefully, we get back on track. 5-2 Bears at the 5-3 Titans. Actually, my bad. 5-3 Bears at the 5-2 Titans. Both teams lost two in a row, so it's definitely going to be one that both teams are looking to get. We have some trivia as per usual, but we'll probably skip on that and get back to the trivia questions for next week. But as you can see, a bunch of great Bears players listed here. Okay, so let's get into our preview. For the Bears, running back David Montgomery needs to have a good game. Whether it's running the ball or catching passes out of the backfield, he really needs to get going here in this game to try to alleviate any issues that the offensive line is going to have. We've also listed the entire offensive line as someone who needs to really have a good game here. We have multiple people out due to injuries. Also, Cody Whitehair, our starting center, will be out as the COVID list has taken him. And plus, we need our coach, Matt Nagy, to call a good game and to really get the team going in the right direction here. A lot of people have been calling him out this week for his poor play calling. For the Titans, it always starts up front with Derrick Henry. He's one of the perennial best backs in the league, consistently having great games and a game changer, especially against the Bears defense that has not played well against the run. Jadeveon Clowney also looks to apply a lot of pressure off of the end. With a depleted O-line for the Bears, this should definitely favor him having a good game. And lastly, Ryan Tannehill needs to also play well for the Titans, as if he can do that, there's really no way the Titans should be stopped in this game. So let's talk about some of the keys for both teams. For the Bears, they really need to create turnovers. Haven't won many turnover battles in games this year, and that's really hurt them. A couple here or there, specifically last week against the Saints, and they would have won that game. They've got to find a way to stop Henry. They got to make the Titans one-dimensional, and they need to throw downfield on offense. It happened a few times last week, and then they started to get away from it. But Nick Foles needs to continue to push the ball down the field. For the Titans, they just want to ground and pound here. The way that Derrick Henry runs the ball and the way the Bears defense has played against the run really favor that a ground and pound game would work well for the Titans. If they can get to Nick Foles, which should be easy considering the whole offensive line is out, that should also prevent the Bears from getting any points in this one. And lastly, if the Titans can just get a lead and run the ball, it should work out really well for them. The Bears don't play well in the third quarter, so we'll see what happens with that. But if the Bears can get a lead and get some turnovers, that will definitely be favorable for the Bears. Otherwise, the Titans would look to run the ball a lot in this game, continue to pressure Foles, and do well if they're playing from ahead. So the prediction, just went with a funky score this week, but Titans 22, Bears 17. Bears defense doesn't usually give up too many points, but the offense, as we know it, struggles to score points. So that's what we're looking at this week. Hopefully it'll be a good game. Noon start time tomorrow. Always hoping that the Bears will have a good game. So for those of you out there that are Bears fans, remember to turn up and bear down and to subscribe to the channel. And remember, bear down.